Twitter, BG Steve Grinder and Scrub, and to my favorite fellas, ladies, and in-betweens on my favorite site, Christian Mingo. My name is Chris Walker, and I'm going to be your co-host for the evening. Welcome to the CommuniTEA, where young, black, gay, and bisexual men have a unified, candid conversations and spill the tea on sex, relationships, race, identity, and community empowered, and everything else in between. We're here on the behalf of UBE, United Black Element, and UBE enables young, black, same-gender loving men to fulfill their greatest potential for good. We are creating ways for young men to come together, to meet, socialize, and learn and support one another collectively, okay? If you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and you are in need in HIV or confidential syphilis testing or PrEP, please call 214-393-3700. Yes, I said now, 214-393-3700. Okay, so let's pop into the topic and discussion of today. Fellas, tonight we are talking about the freaks, the kinks, the fantasies, and the things that we seldomly talk about in today's conversation. And viewers, we're going to get down, dirty, and we're going to give you some of the tea that you wanted to hear and some of the things that you want to know. And hey, we might give you some tools that you can utilize and bring to your bedroom to spice up your pleasure and your personal or sexual satisfaction and gratification. Okay, let's start. So I want to know, how freaky do you think you are on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being regular, but 10 being freak. I'm a freaky leak, gobble me, swallow me, drip down inside of me, okay? So if you like what I have to say, comment, love, share, and post in the comments below. Because I'm going to watch out for you, and I'm going to look, and I'm here to answer any questions that you have as it relates to any of the topics, discussion, or my fellow panelists. So you know what? The court is in session, and now let's get into it. Now, this one is for my beautiful, sexy, and unfiltered co-host of tonight. I'm going to pose this question for you now. When I say it, I need y'all to answer it in a clockwise direction. So starting with Lava and ending with Edmund on the end over there, okay? So on the scale of 1 to 10, what would you say your freak level is? And 1 meaning not a freak, but 10 meaning mulatto, I'm a freak league. Okay?
Okay,
you know he for the streets.
So we think we it all. I'll probably be an 11. Oh.
So why do you feel that you need to make up a number outside of the scale? That's my question. What identifies you as being an 11?
Cause I like doing some stuff that, you know, I can't ask everybody. It has to be kind of like, we have to like creep into it. And so that's where my sex, that's how high on the scale it is. Like I kind of have to get like, it has to be consensual. So,
you heard it first, baby. He is off the charts. He is over the rainbow and off your radar.
Okay, all right.
Moving next, Mr. Jamal giving us basketball net realness. What's the tea?
So the tea is, you know PD Pablo, right?
Oh!
But no, actually, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm a 7.
A 7?
nah.
Lala, you haven't been in my bed yet.
Oh!
Girl, you're a fish already.
No, I feel the 7.
So stay tuned for the after specials for details on Lava coming to Jamal's bed. Okay. Now moving the conversation on, upward, and forward to my freak, baby. Jamil, what you got? 1 to 10. What's your freak level?
I can't be your freak to your leak, so I am a 5 at best.
Really?
A 5, girl. I said what I said.
You giving the people mediocre.
Very. I give wife. I give marriage.
Oh, that's good.
A boring one.
But let me tell you.
Be up front though.
I guess this how next I go. So my freak level is off the charts, unsurmountable, unquantifiable, unimaginable, and outer earthly. Because if you having sex with me, it's a what?
An experience.
That's it. And I'm glad you know.
Right. I'm like, I'm glad that you're in it.
It's a delusion.
Right. Thank you. I appreciate it. Now moving on to Black Lives Matter, Your Lives Matter, and the oldest growth sister, baby. Sam. What's your freak level on 1 to 10? And let me tell y'all, so over the course of this podcast, we have figured so much out about Sam. We found out that Sam can be crazy. We found out that Sam loves the hood niggas. We found out that Sam takes the pain and is not above giving the pain. So now we're gonna get into the freak part of you, baby. What's your freak life from 1 to 10? Give it to me, because I wanna know.
Well, thank you for the recap. You know more about me than I know about me. But if you go back to the interview, I said that I was layered, and I said there's more to me than meets the eye.
Okay.
Right? And the words you was using to describe yourself, we all know who made Mastery in Advance on standardized testing, because your vocabulary was up there for your experience.
Okay. Okay, reading level was in college in 6th grade.
I said what I said.
Wait, in what grade?
6th grade.
But like speaking for myself on a scale of 1 to 10, I think I would have to give myself a 6 with room to grow. And my thing is that you can't have Janet Jackson as your #1 favorite without that being in you somewhere.
Okay, you
So you score higher than me.
So basically what you're saying is that, like, when it comes to your freakiness, you like a caterpillar, waiting to grow and waiting to cocoon and blossom into a freak butterfly to let your freak flag fly.
Yes.
I see you. Now moving forward, giving you freaky and fetish with a taste of class, Miss Debbie. What would you rank your freak level being on a scale of 1 to 10?
15. No, I mean, if I'm gonna stay on the scale, like accurately, I would give myself a 9, because I know there's a few things that I'm not gonna do, like period. So I know that I'm not gonna do.
7.5.
She ain't come to my house. Who? Ella Fitzgerald. Oh.
So question.
You don't know?
I know who Ella Fitzgerald is, but I'm assuming that's
Scatting. I ain't asking nobody's young, but like I said, Ella not coming to my house.
They did say you was one of the Ninja Turtles. Michelangelo, Picasso, Leonardo.
Girl, ain't nobody said that.
A true artist, bitch.
Ain't nobody said that about me. Is it my turn? Oh, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like a 5 or a 6.
Really?
Yes. Unfortunately, I am boring. I'm good though. I mean, my head is good, booty good, dick good. And I actually found out recently that I can, like, I experienced myself, and I'm like, okay, you can do more than one. So you don't, because I'm a Leo, so I like to bust it and roll over, go to bed. Like, at least that's me. Leo's different, but.
So asking the other Leo on the group, do you like to bust it and then go to bed? Or do you like to go rounds?
It depends. It depends. But usually I'm a bust it on the bed.
How about you, Sam? Do you bust it and go to bed, or can you go in and out, in and out?
In and out.
What I'm gonna say is that a part of sexiness is keeping an air of mystery. So I'm not gonna say any and everything. You got enough already. We'll see what I feel comfortable releasing that.
Bitch, you giving me mistakes.
Oh, so you getting released. So you are getting a release.
Okay.
I see.
Well, with me, let's go rounds and rounds.
Because it's
rounds.
what?
An experience.
Yeah.
When I get done, I need to be sweat. When I get done, we gonna be dehydrated. Gonna need some water.
We just gonna do that anyway.
Right, because I mean, the first time I do it, I put in enough. I don't need to clock in again. I don't need to do another shift.
Clock out.
But what if you're on salary?
Okay, then I'll clock in tomorrow. I'll do it later this week or something.
See, one thing about me is I believe in overtime and big checks. And sometimes you gotta put in a little extra work to get a larger return. Okay?
Ain't that more tax?
With benefits.
Yes, more tax.
Jamila,
Girl, you don't
Miss Jamila, so are you a heated and quitted type of person? Are you a round and round and round and round she go?
rounds. Ain't nobody got time for that. Girl, hit it and quit it. 30 minutes tops. You better go to bed afterwards.
No, but see, all that long stuff.
Oh, that's too much.
Right.
Like, who y'all trying to prove? Now, those only fan girls because they need the content.
Okay.
But for me, honey, I need to go to sleep.
Well, you know what? I think for me is that I don't nut easy. So for me, like I can have like a lot. I can fuck for like a long time because it takes a lot for me to nut. So I need somebody who has stamina when it comes to sexual prowess in the bedroom. But we gonna go over here to Miss Silent but Deadly because she's been silent throughout this conversation so far. And you giving me all this white and this black and this
trapped in that net.
Okay, cause this is fish trapped in the net. So we gonna figure out what you got going on. So are you a hit it and quit it or are you a repeat?
Right. You know, it depends on the person. It depends on the person. I know when I lived in Kansas, it was all night.
Okay.
But it was nothing to do in Kansas, but go all night. You know, so now that I'm back in Dallas, it's kind of hit and quit it, and I'm older and I'm tired after, because I've been worked up a sweat and an appetite because, you know, I hardly ever eat.
Ooh.
So do you think it comes with age? Like, do you think it's like an age thing? Do you think like as you get older, like your libido slows down to the point to where like you can't go rounds or you physically don't want to, or like those hormones that your body produces, they don't produce an excess as they did when you were a younger guy?
It's scientifically proven, like with men, libido tends to go down with age in general, and with women it tends to go up because they go up in progesterone, and with men their testosterone lowers. That's why gender roles will even switch, where you have the woman that's more domineering, older in age, and the man is just like, whatever.
Come on,
and I guess it's why you hear more like why you hear about the more idea of like a MILF, and like of course you've heard the term DILF, but like you hear the term MILF more in society, and maybe that's like the reason why, because like as we get older, our libidos change, right? And so overwhelmingly, it's the women who pursue sexual prowess and sexuality as we get older. Dudes, we just want to chill. So that could be a reason why the term MILF is more of a common term used in our society versus DILF. And cougar, yeah, because like there's not a term for an older man. Well,
Sugar Daddy and Silver Fox.
Silver Fox. That's a white moving on. Lavisha.
Hey.
Are you a hit it and quit it? Are you a keep going and going and going?
He likes to going and going and going.
Like the energizer bunny.
I like a long session.
Like a long session, right?
I love a long
Like long sessions are the best because like I feel like we done connected, we done bonded.
That's really
and like
good.
I want to be able to see the booty hole push out. And I love it.
So you like rosebuds?
Oh, I love it. It's hot to me. I'm sorry. Now, like, well,
I'm not gonna say.
Can I change my rating to a 4 then?
No, but I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell y'all, it's levels to a rose
I'm dead, though, man.
Like, there's definitely levels to a rose, but now I'm not saying the ones where you can see like the full intensity, like the person who looks like they've been fisted. But what I right, not the beat in the beats, not a full blown, but one of the most hottest things.
Yuck, nobody's young.
Right.
We're not young. Who young?
Well, talking about, and if you like rosebuds, that's great for you. But a lot of us, we're gonna have differing opinions today because our sexuality and our sexual being is individual and it's introspective. So no matter what we say, we're not casting judgment on anybody who does not agree with any of the things that we like. Okay. So in public health and in facilitation, it's a thing like we like to call "do not yuck my yum." So for our viewers out there, we would implore you not to yuck each other's yums or not to yuck my yum. So do not look at me differently for the things that I like to do sexually because there's things that I do and that you do that we might be in dissonance with. We are not always going to agree, and we're not going to always do the same things because no person is alike, right? So sometimes it's going to be a disconnect in what we like to do sexually and who we are mentally, physically, and emotionally, right? But don't judge me based off of the things that I do. Just judge me based off the being and the acts behind the things that I do, okay? And the reason it's not So, as we clear it up before we move forward, let's talk about fantasies, right? So I think that growing up, everybody has had a fantasy. Like a common fantasy is like to be with a man in uniform, or for some is to be with a married guy, or others is to be watched. So I want to know what are some of your kinks and what are some of your men. I want to know what some of your kinks are and what some of your sexual fantasies are. This is to my co-host, and also to my audience. Comment and let me know what type of freaky stuff do you want to do, or that you imagine that you want to do, and what type of stuff are you into? Because maybe you can teach me. Because even though I think I know everything, I know I don't. So we're going to start with Miss Edmond over here. So what is some of your kinks and fantasies that you like or want to do, or that you do currently?
Okay. So I like to, oh my goodness. So I like to sit on, let's say, this chair, and I like for my man Terrence to stand up, put his feet on here, and just wear this throat out. And we're ready to bust that, like, just, I'm not gonna lie, I just love to have a man stand over me and just release and just enjoy. That's my thing, but he don't like to stand up, so. He don't like to stand up and do it, so we, make some things work. But yeah, that's my thing. I just have a thing for just a black man, just.
You added 2 points to your scale.
Question. Yeah, that was the question. So what I'm hearing is that you like submission. You like to be submissive.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I'm versed, so it's. I mean, I like to be submissive and
Okay. How about you, Devin? What are some of your sexual fantasies or kinks?
I don't know.
Y'all better say something.
I'm not saying that I'm not gonna say it. But I don't think I have like one like this. That's like that sticks out. But there's definitely I like a lot too. Some things. I mean, I definitely like like threesomes or multiple people, or like you said, being watched and stuff like that. Like that doesn't bother me if there's people around. Like, okay, that's cool. And yeah, oral is like a good thing too. That really turns me on both sides. So. Other than that, I'm down for whatever, really. So that's why I'm like, it is what it is.
What's your favorite thing to do?
Everything. That's what it is. That's what I'm like, I don't know. Like, out of everything, like I said, oral would probably be at the top of the list as well. Okay. I'm ready to hear this.
Right, same.
I'm like,
why are y'all always doing this with me? Oh my God. Cause what?
Oh, okay. I was just saying because we on the podcast together and we sharing it. I want to hear it, girl. Come on. I cannot wait to hear it.
Okay. If I have to give y'all something. It's like I wouldn't go as far as saying that it's a fetish because I don't need it in order to be sexual, but I am always curious about what a guy's feet look like. It's like the option of not seeing it versus do I want to see it? I would like to see it.
There's a saying, they say if a man has sex with another man but he still has socks on, he's still considered straight. It's like a little like folklore, little like joke. I'm only heard it with like people outside of our.
I'm definitely heterosexual.
I think it's just like kind of like they have old wives' tales off.
Like what if their feet don't live up to the fantasy, but everything else does? Like, does that take away from? Or do you just go get those socks and just roll them back up?
I like them. Like I would pretty.
Everyone has something about them that needs some work. And like I said, on a scale of 1 to 10 with it, I'm not a 10, so. There could be some dings and bumps and bruises, and I'll still accept the person for who they are. I ain't gonna throw them into the incinerator over that.
I can't do no black toenails.
Oh well.
Yeah, I don't want nobody who got no
If they're a
gals.
construction worker, I would understand. Like if their career leads to stuff like that, I would understand.
Okay. You better than me.
So you have a special considerations for blue collar working men. Is that what you're saying?
Oh,
For people in general, like,
right.
oh my God.
It's entertaining.
What I'm saying is that I try to be understanding. Yes.
Well, thank you for letting us understand you more about their love.
Yeah.
Miss Jamil, what are your freaks,
My-
kinks, and things that you like to do?
Most of the things that I've wanted to do, I've done.
So what did you like?
So what was your
When
favorite?
was it?
I've done like a little bit of
Say
like,
where you go.
you know, out in the street, on your street, you know, like outside of your house, on the lawn,
Ooh.
like on the roof of the house,
Okay.
on the roof of a car,
outside.
in the car,
She an
in the
exhibition.
woods, you know, those kind of things like that. But
In
my
the woods?
absolute fantasy would be, I would say, if I had a fantasy, because it used to be my favorite scenes to watch in porn when I was a young buck. It was to like a home invasion kind of thing.
Oh,
It's a home
Yes,
invasion thing. Like I'm laying in my bed, like on top of the covers, of course, just butt ass naked, you know, body just waxed, pussy just pretty, you know. And they just come in and they just like jump on me and cover my mouth, and they got no clothes on, they got like sweatpants, and they just rub it on you and just shut up, bitch. And
She likes to be dominated.
and it's just like, honestly, that has been like a really big fantasy. But
You feel
also
me?
too, I don't know necessarily if I have the capacity to really just do that fantasy, because sometimes it is about, we say domination and submission.
So is it about the dominance or like
It's not, it's
the
not,
danger?
The dominance and it's the danger, girl. It's the danger for me, I think. But I mean, sometimes I feel like it just depends on the person. It probably would have to depend on the person. But it's just, yeah.
You added to
Do you like to choke?
I love.
Right. She said,
Uh-huh.
wow.
You like to choke during this process?
Wait, you said what? You said
Hey.
so,
Okay.
I like
Let
to
me-
be, you know, I
Let me
like
pull it.
I like a little, you know,
You like to be walked?
asphyxiation.
I do like
You like
to
to-
choke.
Well, yeah, choke to cut off like the blood, not the
Period.
circulation of the breath. Like the circulation, but not my breath, you know. But
Don't kill me.
don't kill me.
Well, you want to pass
Well, you
that
know,
to?
Girl, just a
So,
little bit, it
not
just make me up. Like,
actually like choking, like being choked out, like and limited the amount of blood flow to the brain causes your endorphins to raise, and it makes you to be more sexually into it.
It's just the
It's
same
kind
thing
of
as
a similar
poppers.
process to poppers or Viagra.
Whoa.
Yeah.
yeah, poppers do the same thing.
Because what Viagra does is that Viagra blocks certain flow through vessels that lead to your brain, and so it triggers the blood to go to certain areas that lead to your penis, and it causes you to be more erect for a longer period of time because it blocks the blood.
Baby, let me tell you, because them poppers, after you climax, my body, I vision it having like the morphing thing that superheroes, I just vision this.
Power down.
I'm like, oh shoot.
So you just basically had an out of body experience.
Yes.
Take
Didn't
it to
see
another level.
myself. It's yes.
Well, since you want to talk about out of body experiences, let us know what type of freaky and kinky things that you like to do inside and outside of your body.
And your neck.
It's about the net.
Okay. I think for me, it's Sam touched on this and you kind of touched on this. I like feet. Like you gotta have pretty feet. And then another thing that I like is to role play. I like to, dance around and like act like I can twerk because I can't twerk. So I like to make it clap before we get into it. And I do love balls. Like I love some balls, not the hairy balls, but just nice, clean cut balls. Because I am an athlete, so I do like to play with balls. So balls are my favorite thing.
So what do you do with balls? Because last time I checked, you like to.
Don't
oral.
say that on the camera.
Girl, we said that last week on camera.
We did.
So like, what do you do with the balls?
I like to put them in my mouth. And
Teabag that hoe.
Yeah.
Yes, teabag.
Put it on my face. Slap me with them.
Oh,
You know.
slap on
FaceTime.
That's okay. So that sounds painful. If I'm
I do like
slapping
contact
balls.
sports. Gotcha.
Yeah. But hey, mom and dad, if you're watching, I forgot to tell you not to watch that part.
Y'all could have turned this one
He's
off.
a virgin, touching the very
Right.
first time.
But yeah, I do like the role play.
Now, King Freaky himself, tell us what are some of your favorite kinks, fetishes, or what's your idea of fantasy?
Don't be scared.
Because we would like to know.
Y'all named a couple of them. I like Jamil's. I like public play. I like stuff outdoors. Where we don't get caught, so y'all better not be looking for me and trying to arrest
That's
me.
the Russian.
But that's what I like. I like the thrill of like almost getting like that's like my favorite.
That doesn't get any
If I was getting caught,
Yeah, like I like for some reason. For me, like sex, like kinks and stuff, it's a mental thing. It's not really a body thing. So like even like I'm just now getting into like domination and whatnot. And so like as y'all can see, I got my stuff. I like to inflict pain. The little leash you got on, like how I imagine like a fantasy or whatever. And it's actually pretty safe in my eyes. But like if I was with somebody that I cared about and he's really into it, like he would have to have permission. Like if we're watching a movie together, I would hold his leash the whole time we're watching the movie. Like I like stuff like that. Like I like the mental kind of like where you mentally decide to submit to me. Like I love.
So you don't like not physical dominance and submissiveness, but like mental.
Yeah.
So like those panties things that people be wearing where it vibrates and stuff. Like you would have to.
I would so do that.
Yeah.
I would so do that.
Yeah, I would like to think.
It's a power thing, and I was explaining to them earlier, like even like with kinks and stuff, like I would prefer the other person be naked and I'm clothed because it's just like power dynamic. Like you gotta work for my clothes to come off. Like,
I don't know, that's too much.
You would. That's something.
That's too much. I mean, if I'm ready, I'm ready. You can only go so long before, you know.
That's the test though. It's like how can you like endure like how much y'all can't keep your like you can't keep your hands off of each other, but it's like am I gonna put myself through the mental of like let's see how long we can.
Also, you like people to give you head and you just undo your zip and put your dick out and you just be full. That's what you like. You like that's what I call drive-by head.
No, because I like long session. Remember, it's the like you say the experience.
Those quickies do.
Wait, but how long is a long session to y'all?
I've had sex for the longest I've had sex has probably been 4 hours.
Yeah, mine is 4 hours.
Without busting?
Yep, 4
What
hours.
do you do for 4 hours?
That's what I want.
You fuck?
First of all, I don't have time.
You fuck and you get fucked.
See, with me though, like the people who like I said before in another episode, like I have really good fuck buddies. Like I said, it's at any given moment, like it could be something more serious, and so like we like being around each other. So we try to prolong the session as long as possible.
Like all of y'all?
No, not
Oh, okay.
And you know the funny thing is, like you were saying, like 4 hours and stuff like that. That's half the day. Half the work day. Work day is what I mean.
I thought you was used to going for a little while.
It depends on the person, but I typically do not like to go that long.
It's not that when you think about it. I mean, that's 12 to 4. That's.
But then also for like
exactly.
Right.
Doing
that's nothing.
Sort of, I can understand if y'all like had a threesome, maybe like if
that's
you have multiple, and y'all all kind of like, but yeah, no.
So so when I say having sex for 4 hours, I mean that's inclusive of us cooking. I mean not cooking. Kissing. Foreplay. We can take a break in between.
Right.
I'm gonna give you like a 5-minute break. And then we can start back up, you know what I'm saying?
4 hours. 5 minutes.
Let me say,
one 5-minute break.
And then I I like doing different positions, right? So I like missionary. I like doggy style.
yes,
I like
I can do all of them positions.
Exactly.
and that's boring to me. Like I want to try.
I like to do
Let me try the shit I see on TV. Let me do the doggy style where you up, where you up on your knees and like you just standing up and I'm behind you. I like that one, the regular doggy style on your back behind your legs. Then you in doggy style and I turn around in doggy style and I'm fucking you from the back and I you touching and like we doing it backwards. I like all of that. You upside down.
Yeah, have you ever had
like that?
I like
Yeah.
My favorite.
Oh no, go ahead.
Is when there's like a size difference, and so like if he's like 5'3" or 5'2", and he's like he weighs nothing but like 130 pounds or something.
Oh, it's wonderful getting a tween.
I love it.
Everything else.
But you know, it's so weird. I don't like twinks. I like the men that
they're not my preference, but I
men
learned
that I
how to
don't
do
like
stuff
are
with
like
everyone.
I like thicker, like they be like thicker guys.
What you mean thick? What's your thick?
They be you, baby.
Well,
Not even
not even me, but like they be like thicker, like they be like football built type of people.
Oh, like,
That's what I end up liking.
Yeah.
I think you build like a football player.
Well, I guess maybe built like me.
Like a man, yes, I get what you mean.
Cause I don't want nobody who they big. Cause I feel like if you just big, I'ma hurt you, and I don't want to be having sex and feeling number bones. I need to be comfortable.
Same here.
You'll be surprised what different body types can do.
Right, because it be the skinny ones.
Well, baby, you can continue to have sex with the Grim Reaper and Skeletor. But as for me, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like Jamil over there.
But Jamila's not. I don't consider Jamila. He's not skinny like
not
that.
Skinny.
He's not skinny. When I say, I mean like the people who be like
got some meat
stink.
on his bones.
Jamil got meat, yo.
You can feed
I'm talking about
It's not a lot.
that when they cough, you see their lungs.
I give you like the winged. And some people give you like a full-fledged chicken.
A winged.
A winged, the drumhead, you know, like,
Well, let me be clear. I have to clear up something that you said, Edmund. I said in Kansas, the sessions were long because it was nothing else to do. Dallas, there's a lot to do than to have sex for like 4 or 5 hours.
And that's what I'm saying. I want to try all of that too. Don't get it twisted. Like I want to do all of that, but not for 4 hours.
Yeah,
that's what I'm.
So,
that's all I'm saying.
I think that for me the time goes by so much faster because I be into it. So because I don't have sex with any and everybody. If I have sex with you, that means I like you. So it's more to it there. So like that time go by quick because it'll be you start at 12 and then before I know it, it's 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it's like damn, where did the time go? Because I was so into the session, I was so into the link up that like I wasn't even thinking about time. Right? And so like and in that time we done so much and I ain't even realized
So y'all in those 4 hours y'all hadn't bust at all.
Well, in those 4 hours, he probably done busted and cream, but I probably busted once or twice.
A way to make it last longer is if you, at least for me, is if you nut like a little bit and then you let it
edge.
Go back.
That's edging.
Yeah, edging. Yeah.
That's
Well, I mean, with edging, you typically don't nut.
Sometimes you
a little bit. But I noticed that like
it's not the full
a little bit, and then it makes you last longer.
But you know what? So while we're on the topic of like ejaculation, that's how I know if I have an STI or not. And I'm asymptomatic, is that when I am jacking off or masturbating or having sex with somebody and like I nut and it just happens so quickly and like I'm not hard during that process, I know that I have an STI at that moment.
Oh, wow.
It's so weird.
Do you know which one?
It's either gonorrhea or chlamydia.
Okay, the twins.
The twins. The Siamese twins.
And then if so, I mean the trip.
Okay, but back to it. For me,
make sure y'all get into it.
No, they
right. Make sure y'all get into it.
214
393 3700.
Make sure 8004. But back to the topic. Back to the topic. For me, sexually, I think like probably about the freakiest thing that I do is that I love orgies, and I love group sex. I love group sex because I'm big on voyeurism. So like I get off on seeing other people together. Like, and a lot of times I don't have to be included in situations. I just like to see other people like in those settings and like please each other. For me, it's just such a turn on because like I do watch a lot of porn and Y'all know I subscribe to people's OnlyFans and stuff. And so, like, yeah, so I'm a watcher, but also I love those group settings because if I do decide to do something, I can be watched. And so while I'm having sex with somebody, I can be kissing with somebody else, and somebody can be touching and feeling on me and massaging on me. Or if I'm giving oral sex, I can be giving oral sex with another party, or I can be receiving oral sex with another party. Mm-hmm. I think that the idea of group sex being such a taboo thing, and like a thing is being viewed as something that we're not supposed to do, makes me like it even more.
So it's like keep it taboo. Keep saying it's bad so I can keep doing it.
Exactly.
That's with almost any of these sexual fetishes. Like there's always gonna be like that. It's not normal or stigma.
Like we not supposed to be doing it.
Yeah, like y'all having sex outside. Like,
because
that's not normal. Or oh y'all group sex. That's not.
Well,
because in the straight world, in the straight world, they call these sexual deviancies. They call it, and have you ever heard of parties? Have you had like the deviant parties? Like that's what it's about. Like Kinks and yeah, right.
But out of all this, I haven't heard anyone say that they love to eat the booty like groceries.
Well, I mean,
but that's not a freaking thing. That's a normal thing. We're talking about freaks and kinks.
I'm not big on that.
That's some people. Yeah, no, it's not a requirement, nor is it something that.
I love it because that's really what's gonna make me hard is me eating your ass.
I mean, that's
what's gonna make me hard.
So what is y'all's definition of free?
Well, this is kind of late in the conversation now.
I know, but I mean, because as we said, we all had our numbers and they were all different. But then we're talking about the things we do, and we all do different things.
Yeah. But at the same time, too, that the number itself is a perspective. It's your own personal perspective. So I mean, like if you were to share some of your sexual experiences, I could rate you down for whoever went from an 11 down to a 3, or vice versa. So
okay. Stemming from that question, everybody, if you could define freak in 3 words, what would those 3 words be? Lava.
Nasty, uninhibited, and ready.
Okay. How about you, Jamal?
I would say bedroom candy. But I don't know what the 3rd word would be.
Well, because that was only one really. But
I would say uninhibited. I'm gonna take that. Uninhibited for sure. I wouldn't necessarily say nasty, but you could say nasty if you want to. Honestly, I'm gonna do it 1. So uninhibited. Next.
How about you?
Oh, you're skipping yourself?
I'm gonna go last.
Okay. I would have to say 3 words.
3 words.
Star Pokemon card because
I love
because it's rare.
You gotta catch it all,
Yeah. Because whenever I think of something like it's freaky, it has to be something like beyond the stuff that's regular. Like it's beyond missionary, it's beyond oral. At this point in 2020, it's actually beyond eating ass. So like anything that's considered rare is what I would consider freaky.
But what is rare in 2020 now? That is what at one point free could be used because we were very closed. Now in 2020, I mean a large group of people are having sex on cameras, whether for free, whether for coin, or just would like that kind of like thrill of that. So I don't know, like would you say that it'd be a different definition in 2022?
Oh no, I feel like it'll be anything that you would be hesitant to tell a person under regular circumstances. And how it may also, even in a conversation like this, it'll raise an eyebrow or you do that? You know, it goes beyond just what's normalized.
If I had to add a word to mine, based on what Sam was saying,
Sam said a lot, but he put it all into.
I would remove ready because that kind of goes with uninhibited, and I would put.
No, ready is what you mean.
There has to be a splash of offensiveness. Like it's almost got. It's like if someone asks you something, you got to be like, okay, let's try it. So it has to be offensive a little.
But then, okay, if you say they raise an eyebrow, it could be towards you as a person or the being. We talked about being separate from your sexual being or whatever. But let's say, for instance, let's take you, Sam. Like I would think anything that you possibly would do that would seem outside of what I pictured you to be freaky. So that's kind of like even with you, like or anybody on this, this panel. So
I think that it's going back to because the question was that for you to, in 3 words, to deem your definition of what freak was, I think is very introspective to each person. Because what's freaky for Sam might be regular for me. You know what I'm saying? And what's freaky for me might be regular as fuck for Lava. You know, so you just never know. I think that, hopefully I'm using this term correctly, it's subjective.
Yeah.
Right, and so it's hard to quantify on what freaktuality is. I just made up that word. Yes, freaktuality. It's hard to quantify what freaktuality is when it's such a subjective process, because everybody comes from differing experiences, differing lives, differing backgrounds, and differing wants. Right. So who are we to say and judge people and call them, hey, you're too freaky, or you're not freak enough for me, based off of something that's intrapersonal and that's our own, right?
And I want to say that raises a lot of issues in relationships too, because when 2 people get together and their freak numbers ain't the same, then you're like, well, damn, and then that's where the cheating or the bitch or we finna be open, what we finna do, because
but then that goes into kind of what I said about, like, I guess also the name of the game is just being open about it. But like, let's say for instance, I told my partner my freak number is 10 and you say yours is 10, but based off what we're doing, that's not the same thing. Like, down the line at some point, you know.
And so you have a great point, which leads into our next question, right? So let me get into it before we get too far off topic. All right, y'all? Are y'all okay? And this time I'm gonna start with you, because I know you didn't get the last question. So I'm gonna start this first question with you, because we might not get to Lava's answer. All right? Is that acceptable?
All right.
All right. Okay.
I'm very
the question.
Do you think you could be in a long-term relationship with someone that is not into the same things as you sexually?
Nah, because at some point I'm gonna want something and I don't want to step out and go get it.
Unless but if you have permission, would they say, okay, I'm not gonna.
Well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that either.
Just one.
I already made it clear. Like, there's no extra people in the bedroom. None of that. It's just straight up us.
So you're not one of those people who will be like more lenient to do things because you love someone. So like, I know that like a lot of times that we set these guidelines on what we like sexually and what we do sexually before we get into like these relationships, entanglements, situationships, or whatever they may be. But like, as you grow to love someone, there's a common saying is that you would do anything for those that you love, right? And so out of love for the person that you with, do you think that you will be willing to try new things?
Oh, yeah.
So are you? So basically, he's asking, like, are you more committed to the monogamy, or are you more committed to your partner?
Oh, okay. Well, no, I'm more committed to my partner. Like, if he, but okay, because when you ask the question, I'm thinking like no sex, like no oral, because I don't require too much. So if you can't do the 2 things that I need, then we would pretty much not be doing anything at all. So that
and you can take it there because it's subjective, right?
Yeah. Because I really don't require a lot. Just help me get my nut, do it well, and leave me alone once I'm done.
Have me bragging to my girlfriends about you. Like,
and I kind of want to touch on that because what you said just brought up something. So the last relationship I just got out of, with that one, it was a lot of different things that I never did and I never thought I would do. And yeah, but doing them, I actually realized I actually enjoyed them. And I was really like, wow, here I am, like experiencing something that's totally different than what I normally would do. So that's why I said with that last one, my freak number went up to that 7 I gave earlier, because I tried so many different things and loved it. But it got to the point where we were on 2 different levels on that freak flag. There were some things that, I wasn't willing to do, and our relationship ended up ending because of that. In my mind, I think... Nothing. I'm not gonna touch that, but that's why our relationship ended.
If I could jump in, because it does scare me with being in a relationship and knowing that I'm not too much of a freak. It does worry me that if he would step out to do certain things, because I don't suck dick every day, and some people may want their penis sucked every day, and if I can't do that, I don't want you stepping out because it's a Wednesday and you wanted it and I wasn't wanting to give it.
But also, a lot of guys don't like their dick sucked. True.
Oh yeah.
You
And
see
a
what
lot
I'm
of
saying?
people can't suck dick.
Ooh.
You said what?
A lot of people can't. So it's
Like, that shit mine.
right. But I think too, what we gotta realize is a lot of people can't do some of the things that you want them to do for you.
That's true.
I mean, let's just be real. There's times where you want to sit on the face, and you're like, not doing it right, so I can't sit on this face. And you gotta go to the next face. So,
Sitting on a new face, I'm thinking
Come on, musical chairs.
So back to the question that you asked, I've been in that situation, like I said, like where I'm in a relationship and I just know, like, I love everything about you as a person, but I just know that like our sexual stuff is just not
there.
hitting it
for me. Like it's just not. And so I try to, at first I try to coach you through, like, this is what I like, this is what I would like for you to do, this is whatever. But like you said, some people are just not, though they're not capable of that. Like that's just not their thing. That's not what they're into. And then like when you do try it, it comes off really weird because
it's like
it's just not their thing. Yeah. So
but I get that, but I felt like I did everything I needed to do to get to that next level to make sure that you were pleasured. Because in my mind, you were pleasuring me the way I wanted to be pleasured. So let me go ahead and do these things that you like to do, because I want you to experience that same pleasure that you're giving me.
All right. So thank y'all for y'all. You got something to say?
Oh, I would say, I guess, kind of what you said, like, are you more committed to the idea of monogamy or that partner? And I would say that for me, it would be more of to that partner, but I'm not willing, in certain cases, I wouldn't be willing to sacrifice certain things sexually. So therefore, if I'm more open to my partner, I'm not totally, like, committed to the idea of being in just a monogamous relationship, especially because I do know that sex can be one of those things that cause it to not be monogamous. And the last thing I would want is my partner to feel like they have to leave outside of me per se, but like I would be open to like a little bit more of an open relationship or something to that nature for you to fulfill those things, because there's some things I'm just not going to do, but I'm in love with you as the being. I'm in love with everything about you. I'm in love with our dynamic as a relationship. So yeah.
Okay. And that discussion about being open with your partner and the idea of communication within a relationship as it pertains to what you want to do sexually is going to take us to our next question, our next and final question of the night. Okay. All right. So how comfortable are you with talking about your craziest sexual fantasies to your partner?
Very.
Yeah, extremely comfortable. Like almost complacent. Like it's how I view a partner, I should be able to come to you about anything. If I'm having this crazy horny itch and it's like, yo, we gotta try that. Like you should be that person I should be able to like go to about that. So me, and then also it spices up stuff. Like now you get to kind of like see like how another person like. The reason why I think it's a beautiful moment to be comfortable about that kind of stuff is because it allows for the relationship to like go places that had y'all not went there might have been stagnant. So now it's kind of like adding that sense of adventure. And then like if you trust the person, to me the way the relationship is handled at a freak level, it goes up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because if it's the other way around, it could definitely go down. Because I was in a relationship with a guy. We had talked about like doing threesomes or whatever, and it seemed like that his answer was more that he wanted to do it, but because I said no, I didn't want to do a threesome, then he said that, oh yeah, I don't want to do a threesome either. But after that, it just seemed like that he was.
You found him sandwiched in between.
Yeah, but as for the guy that I'm with now, we've been honest about some things, and every time we do that thing that we are interested in doing,
it's like woo.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, so there's more things we can do.
We get blown back.
And I had said something to your point. I told everyone on this panel that with my last relationship, we had health checks or post checks on Fridays. So on Fridays, we would talk about things like that. And there were some things that were eye-opening to me whenever we had a conversation one Friday. And it was like, you're not doing this the way I like it. And if you do it like this, then I would love it like this. And I did that. And it was something that other people never had to complain about. So I always thought, oh, I'm a bomb at this, but you get with the person that you with, and you're like, fuck, I suck.
Yeah.
Literally, I suck. So it was eye opening. So yeah, those conversations are definitely great to have, and it can actually improve you and give you something new to do with the next person or whatever.
Damn.
But that's
a good point though. Practice what they said. No, I'm not gonna say that.
Any more answers to the questions or any more comments?
Well, just to give a bit of a twist to this response, when I imagine this going either direction, I know that I would be way more comfortable with my partner telling me things and I would be telling him things. I would be so open and understanding to hearing whatever, but like as far as me articulating it, I would be so embarrassed, I'd be so ashamed, but I'll be embarrassed and so ashamed as I'm saying what it is that I need to say. So it's gonna come out, it's just that
But you gotta go through.
I'm still increasing my comfort level when it comes to that, but I'm still able to pull it off.
That's a big moment.
I don't know. For me, it's just more. It depends on the partner, really. Like how comfortable I am with you, and like how long have we been having sex or in a relationship, whatever. Because certain things that I'm like, okay, I'm not going to just pull this out right away. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna wait a little bit, but then we gonna see where you at, and then maybe I can, But it really just depends. I mean, if I really want something, then I'm just like, yeah, okay, but can we do this? But
see what he's doing? Do that. You see that?
hello, I'm gonna find a video and put it on, bitch, just because. Oh, let's try it.
They call those visual aids.
Right. Well, I think that's the great thing about life. We all can learn each and every day, because each and every day we are learning something new, whether it's with the person we're with or, just about ourselves and what we can do. But there were some things that I didn't think I was capable of doing in the bedroom, and maybe when you get in the bedroom, it's all off.
It's amazing when you find something else that they like when you try something new and you're like, oh, they like this. And you add that to the to-do list.
to the to-do list.
So when he's standing in that chair, you look him in his eyes.
That's how I discovered a lot of my kinks has been by accident. Like I would do something that was like, oh, you do that again.
So one thing that I think about as it relates back to having various kinks evading to different things sexually, it's about offering something that I like to call a buffet of options, right? So adding the educational piece to today's topic is that when you have a buffet of options to do sexually, there's other things that you can do to reach sexual gratification outside of insertive anal sex or penetrative anal sex, to where you and your partner can both feel fulfilled and can both feel loved and both feel seen and warmed and welcomed and within your sexual engagement, right? So for me, that's the bright side about freaks and kinks, because it leads to the idea that sex does not always have to be a one-way street. Sex is not a static process. It can also be dynamic, and sometimes we have to think out of the box in order to reach sexual gratification. And in thinking out of the box, you also are adding protective factors to how you engage with people sexually that can then prevent you from acquiring HIV and other related STI infections. So being more of a freak sometimes can lower your risk. And if you are engaged in lots of insertive and penetrative anal or sex, make sure that you are aware of the resources out there to you, and you're taking everything within your buffet of options possible to make sure you're safe. So you're accessing PrEP, you're using condoms, you're making people dental dams for oral sex, you're making people aware of your status, and you're getting checked every 3 months if you're sexually active, okay? We have come to the end of our show. Audience, thank you for being here on this journey with us as we enter the idea and the arena of freaks, fetishes, kinks, and everything else in between. This has been Chris Walker, and once again, if you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex area and you are in need of confidential HIV or syphilis testing or access to PrEP, please feel free to call 214-393-3700. Yes, that's right, 214-393-3700. And ladies and gentlemen, that was the
Yes, the CommuniTEA.